Oh,
Yeah, it's all
yeah.
Is that on?
Well, we didn't really start. Oh, hang on a minute. I've got the. Oh, hang on. That's better.
Have we actually started? I'm not sure that we have.
Yeah. We've started. Right now, I had a comment yesterday. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hi.
I had a comment yesterday, and somebody said, "Can you just get straight into the content and not go through all the welcomes?" How does everybody feel about that? How does everybody feel about us not going through all the welcomes? I mean, it gets worse if we come on late. If we're on time, then the welcomes aren't too bad, are they? I suppose. But
That's
how
a bit
does
of an
everybody feel? What do you think, Gary?
Well, let's try it. Let's get straight into it.
Let's get straight
Hello,
into it.
everybody. Lovely to see you all. Anybody that's new, welcome. If you're not in the Phoenix Way Path to Hoof Health Facebook page, do come and join. Answer the questions. Be nice.
Be nice.
And then you're very welcome.
Have you noticed that recently on the Phoenix page, last few days, no, Pia says you need to welcome us. Oh,
See, now there's a top up now, isn't there? The thing is, we've always done it. We've always done it. It's almost
okay. Let's go through it then. Let's go through. Pia, just checking in early, so it's all ready to go. See you all in a bit. That's because she wants us to do it because she knows she's top of the shop. That's why.
Did you see a picture of us on a big TV on the wall?
I did. It was Pia. Because it's YouTube. Hello, we're in your bedroom. You're in your, well, I might be in your bedroom. We're in your front room talking to you from your big. God, honestly, when we tuned in a minute ago, Asher was sat in the office with me and we just saw this big naked arm and half of a torso. And Gary was stripped off. And honestly, we absolutely piddled ourselves laughing. He was hot and he was stripping off, but
I thought I was on my other channel, you see. I entered
the studio. And Asher went, "It's not that kind of live, Gary. It's not that kind of live." Okay. Wrong show. Okay, so we've come on live tonight because in an hour, well, in 50 minutes, we've got a student feedback induction session, and we weren't going to do the live, and then we thought, no, we're going to do the live, but we're going to do it earlier. So we're here. So let's whiz through. Vivian's here. You only want to be the first one. She was. Will they really start at 7? Well, we weren't bad. We started. No, I think we were 5 past. Aaron says, "Hi, I want to call you Amber because it says Amb, right?" And every time I go to say Aaron, my brain's going, Amber? No, it's not right. Aaron, hi guys. So glad I literally just checked the page and didn't miss out. So am I. It's great that you're doing them live now instead of having to listen to them in the car on the way to work. Michelle Mallory's here. EST time 2 p.m. Cool 56 in Michigan. Lovely. Good afternoon to everyone.
That is in Fahrenheit to centigrade. I have no idea.
Cool and rainy today here in Northern Ontario, Canada. Hello, Lydia. Jenny Cox is here. Good morning from Australia. Oh, it must be early then in Australia because we're an hour early. Silver Lining Stables. Good afternoon from New York. Good afternoon. Erin's here. Good afternoon from Ohio. Saw your post. It was lovely. Vivian did forget to say hello to everyone from Germany. Hello, everyone in Germany. Hello from US, Michigan. Pia says, "Oh yes, hello to everyone. No big screen tonight. Oh, hubby is watching something more important."
What do you mean? How rude?
No. There's nothing more important than this, frankly. What's going on? Don't get it.
Quite
Lydia, yes. Ellie Garvin's here. Hello from Wisconsin. What part of Michigan? Oh, we're going to have a little conversation now. Pia says, "You need to welcome all of us." Yes, well, we are doing now. Welcome. We just need to get on early. I think what we'll do is in future, if we come on late, we'll say we can't welcome everybody. And if we get on time, within 5 minutes, we'll welcome everybody. Let's try that. Meta says, "Hello from Denmark." I'm in the lower in the middle in Michigan. I'm good without all the hellos. See, now Michelle says she's good without the hellos. You're in my bedroom. Lovely. Oh, God. We're in your bedroom. Michelle's laughing. Vivian's laughing. She thinks that's funny. Julie says 2 screens have worked out how to subscribe and use the app.
Yay!
Did you have to subscribe to YouTube? Janet Welsh is here, giving us a wave. Kate Blake. Hi, everyone. Hi, Kate. Good to see you.
Is that a cow?
That's a cow. It's definitely not polka. It's definitely not polka. No, unless a horse. I'm sure a horse. Your horse is black and white, though, isn't it? I had to look twice. Is your horse turned into a cow? Aaron says, I'm all caught up on YouTube lives. Ha! I've just loaded 10 up, but I haven't made them public yet. But I've just loaded 10 previous ones. There's more. 56 Fahrenheit. Catherine Brown, if you don't go through the list, you might miss comments for discussion. It's true.
It is true.
Yes, it's true. And hi as well. Dawn, hi everyone from Wales. All right, so we're going to go straight into the Phoenix group tonight because we want to whiz through that because we know that there's lots of stuff that we'd like to talk about. Okay. Can you see this, Gary?
Yeah, all good.
Now, by the way, people, we are very soon going to be putting this out into the public domain. At the moment, the Australia and New Zealand 3-day workshops, which are confirmed, are only being advertised in the Phoenix group. So if you want to do it, if you want to come to near Christchurch in Southern Ireland, in the South Island on the 28th of February to the 2nd of March, please do come. I never know how to say that. West Auckland, North Island, 7th to 9th of March. We're doing one weekend after another. Wildwood, Sunbury, near Melbourne in Australia on the 14th and 16th of March. Yes, Canberra, Australia, 21st to 23rd of March. If you're watching this any other time other than in the future, as in after we've done this is in 2025. So if you're watching this at the end of 2025 in the future, you missed it.
Yeah, you missed it.
Now, listen, this is important, guys. We've had a few people contact us and say, it's a bit of a long way to go. We are coming as far around the world from us as you can pretty much go until you start going back again. And it's a long old haul. But the thing is, if we don't get enough people coming to these workshops, we'll never be able to come again. And we would love to be able to come to you once a year, but that may not happen if we don't get enough people to these workshops. And of course, we've got to do more than 2 workshops to make the whole trip viable for us, because it's a long old haul and there's 4 of us coming and we've got to hire cars and we've got to have accommodation and eat. We could starve for 4 weeks. So please, there was one lady, she messaged and she went, could you come to me in North Island? And bless her, she's 3 hours away from where we're going in Camus. And I was like, no, but we've traveled halfway around the world. Sort it out. Get people to look after your horses. Do whatever it is you have to do, because I'm telling you now, you mustn't miss these workshops. They will change everything for you. And people that are on this live now will tell you that you need to be there with us. It will absolutely blow your mind and also be the best thing you've ever done when it comes to horses. It will really set you off. Even if you don't want to trim, you need to know the trim, because it's so important. So guys, come on, let's fill these up. Tell your friends, tell anybody, get onto New Zealand groups, get onto Australian groups, whatever, and promote it. Get this link out there and tell everybody they have got to get onto these 3-day workshops, because then once we get filled up, we'll come again if there are enough people, and we may change the workshops and do something different and come and do other things and come and do consultations and clinics and all sorts of things that we can do. But we've got to get these sold. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it about another week in the Phoenix group for you guys that are in the Phoenix group to book appointments, book your venue. Lots of people have already been booking, but we know that there was an awful lot more people who were interested who haven't booked. So get it booked, because once it goes out of the Phoenix group and it goes out into the big wide world and we start advertising it, they will start filling up and you will miss your spot, because we only have a maximum of 20 places on each workshop. So you've been told, come and meet us. It'll be grand. It'll be the best thing you've ever done. All right, let's get back to it. All right, Bonnie, I want to thank everyone who responded to my, we're just going to whiz down them. I want to thank everyone who responded to my post, my fan and especially Vanya Lacey, who came to my rescue at Farrier crunch time. She put me on the path to talking with my Farrier what I wanted as opposed to what he wanted. Wow. So Vanya's one of our admins, but she's also one of our second year students. I see many posts saying how conversations didn't go well with the hoof care specialist and they think we are all a little nutty. Oh, yes. My experience went very well. Maybe my approach might help others. I'm not sure, but here goes. Okay. I may have a significant edge since I was born into the horse world, but still knowledge is power as long as you are prepared. I absorbed everything I could in a short amount of time on this site, posted my photos and x-rays and listened to the sympathetic and knowledgeable response, and I was still anxious about dealing with pushback and how my guy would respond. I asked for directions and Vanya Lacey came to the rescue in a big way. Now I felt ready and confident to have this conversation. That's beautiful, Vanya. Well done. This is the essence of our pros and this group. It's so cool. Make sure your farrier has the x-rays to view. Cool. I sent mine by text beforehand. Have your plan, your why at hand in the barn. Give any respect they are due, but be firm in your direction. I'm loving this. I asked him for his cooperation, but he didn't demand it. If he had strong resistance to give this method a try, we could cordially agree to disagree and I would find somebody else. It's good. Start off like that. Say, look, I'm going to discuss something with you now. I really hope that you're going to cooperate and we can discuss this together. If not, there's no hard feelings. You know, we can agree to disagree and that's the end of that. But I would really love for you to listen. My guy, it sounds like Bonnie gave it a brilliant approach. My guy listened to me and Vanya. Ooh, it sounds like Vanya got on as well and followed what we were asking to a T. I know this might not have been the case and I was prepared to move on if necessary, but I think being prepared and respectful worked for me and more importantly, my horse. Growing up in horses and making my living with them can introduce you to many who are just arrogant, know-it-all jerks. I love that. I'm just going to highlight that bit on its own. Arrogant, know-it-all jerks. Okay. In my barn, there could be no peaceful... If there could be no peaceful resolve, I handed them the lead rope and said, goodbye. She sounds like we don't cross, Bonnie. We love our horses and they are to be treasured and enjoyed. What a great post, Bonnie. And I'm sorry because I was actually going to go over your post. There's some lovely responses there by the looks of it. Okay, so if we get to your post, Bonnie, we'll have another look at it. Okay, Fiona Francis. Hello, heroes. Gary, just keep monitoring the comments because I'm not monitoring. So if we need to say anything, just yell. Okay. Hello, heroes. I'm trimming some Coke can mini donkeys. I have a question about the frogs. The heels still need to come down a lot, but her little frogs are then protruding so far. They do. Do I leave them alone? I won't be able to come back for 8 weeks. That's okay. I assume ideally I would come back in a week or two and it will start shedding. But since it will be so long between trims, is there any advice? Now, That is problematic, because when you're dealing with Coke can feet, oh my goodness, you're really 8 weeks is far too long. But I get it. If this is what you're only able to do, and if that is the situation, Fiona, what I would really consider being a very big option here is talking to your owners and also asking them to do some trimming in between your trims. I know it's not ideal, but leaving it for 8 weeks is not good. It's not with Coke can feet. Okay. First photos with dirty shoes before and after. Regards the frog, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that frog, but be more worried about the fact that you can't get there every 8 weeks. Okay, so we've got, here's the coronary band at the back. Here are the bulbs disappeared completely. Here's just a bunch of lumpy frog, and the heels are up there somewhere. Now donkeys are a little bit different, but you don't trim them any differently. They've got everything that a horse has in their foot. You don't trim them any differently. They've still got to be balanced, and they still need to have they still have a hard sole plane. They still have guideline, but donkeys can compact quite easily. Okay, so looking at this, what do we see? We see this. It looks like we're in a canyon, doesn't it? We're along the Grand Canyon, and you just fall off into this ravine. Well, this is because this bar is just basically too much. So there's a lot of bar in here. You can see where she started to have a go, Fiona, and she started to find chalky materials. It starts to give way. The frog is this big lumpy mass. But what's unusual, well, not unusual, but the morphology for donkeys is just slightly different. So their frogs tends to stick out more at the back, and their heels tend to be a little further forward than in relation to the frog than an equine foot. But we still have to do the same. We still have to clear the sole. We still have to find those bars. We still have to get to respect the hoof wall and leave everything in play. Okay, so let's keep going. Ooh, look at that. That's good. That's a good trim. Now you see what she's done here, and we got a bit of breakout going on there, but that's in the white line, as you can see there. Can you see that also on the inside that it pushes this out? This bit of horn, that's because there's been a little bit of infection in there, maybe even a stone that was lodged in there. Don't get panicky about stones, though. That could have been just underneath. So she's done a fantastic job here, and it's hard work, you know, because you're going through what you think is hard sole plane to get down to get these feet in a better position. This is a great trim, Fiona, really is. We haven't got a roll on there just yet, or you may have put it on, but it doesn't look like we've got a roll on there just yet. And can you see how Fiona has left the toe alone? She hasn't trimmed that, because you can see how that hoof wall comes down here, look, and then just dives. You see the white line? It just disappears because there's no hoof wall on the ground. So that was brilliant judgment and well thought out, and a good trim. What do you do with the frog? Well, it's difficult, right? Because if you have frogs, especially if it's very wet at the time of year that you're trimming, and it looks very wet here, they can, it's very easy for the frogs to almost the sensitive part of the frog can almost prolapse into the frog itself. And so by that I mean they get very sensitive just by taking off a little bit. So the much better option, even though the donkey or the horse pony has to walk around on it very, very quickly, the body will go, that will harden up inside of here. It will get less sensitive, and it will start shedding when it's ready. The problem that we have with all of this carving of frogs is it makes the back of the foot hypersensitive, especially on horses when they are very compromised at the back of the foot. So don't do it. If in doubt, leave it alone and let the horse sort itself out, or the donkey sort itself out. That's going the right direction.
And I'm wondering if I took the heels back enough.
Fiona, to be honest, I don't think you did, but you did you did a good job and you balanced well, and you couldn't do anything with the toe. Now, this is the problem with going every 8 weeks, because you think about how much growth there is in 1 month. You've got 2 months worth of growth you've got to catch up on, which will compact probably. And because the heel is going at the right pace and the toe is slowed down, you're going to be coat cannon all the time, and you're just going to be chasing your tail. So you've got to come up with some kind of solution where, because this ideally in a scenario like this, we'd be trimming every 3 to 4 weeks in order to make sure that we keep those heels where they need to be. So here's a couple of tips. Make sure that you have got, because you see that the hairline actually is way back here. What you need to do is you need to get some scissors and just trim off this little bit at the back. You're not scalping the donkey or anything, but you want to see that hairline. Very, very important. And then measure from the heel to that hairline and on both sides, and make a note of it, so that when you come back in 8 weeks' time, you know that that's your minimum. That's where you went to last time. It will be longer than that and higher than that. So you've got to bring it down to at least that. And hopefully there'll be some exfoliation of the compacted material and you go down further. But I'm not hopeful when you're leaving it that long. And obviously it sounds like you haven't got an awful lot of choice. So you need to speak to the owner, and you need to say to the owner, okay, this is the height we're at. Talk to them about balance. You know, you guys that are rehabbing these poorly little feet, you got to bring these owners on board, right? They need your help, or rather, you need their help, both ways. So, yeah, I think there was probably more there, but it's a start. And now that foot is going to be put down on the ground. It's well balanced. The ground will start doing some of the work for you, and all of this extra frog will start to disappear. It looks like we have a bit of a groove in there, doesn't it, Gary? Like,
looks like there's a bit of a central sulcus issue going on there.
That'll open up. That will open up as that disappears. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah. Fiona also said their regular farrow takes off the toe, so I wanted to tell them to just wait the 8 weeks for me to come back, but I might be able to get them to rasp the heels in the meantime.
Okay. And it's difficult, right? Because when we get them to rasp the heels, we don't know what they're doing. You might have to say, look, can I have a Zoom session with you? And can you send me photographs, and I'll be helping you, guiding you through it. So what you're looking at here is there's not a lot going on at the toe. You can't do anything there because that's been rasped away, really putting pressure and giving issues to this area of the foot. You can see it, can't you? Clearly in this shot. It's a great shot. You don't want pressure there. You want the wall. And look how much wall's gone, right, of the toe. If I bring my cursor out here, you can see that's a lot. That's a lot of foot to go. And if you are routinely balancing your heels to that, it's false, because this will callus and compact. So you can see that you've got this a little bit of new growth coming down here. All this lumpiness, this is part of the periople, and a bit more of the old growth. The growth is now kicking out this way because Fiona has started bringing the heels down. That would have been far more upright before Fiona brought the heels down. But Fiona, you're looking from the apex of the frog backwards. You're looking to put this kind of angle in, really. You're not rockering the heels. That's not what we're after. But you're after changing, rather than just coming straight down. You're after doing that change. I can't give you any more advice than that, really. But you've started. You've begun. And it's a great start. It really is a great start. Well done. That coronary band looks pretty okay. And you know what's going to help you out? And that's softer ground, because that heel will sink back into that softer ground. So that's going to allow that equine, that donkey, to feel that relief of where they need their bony column to be. even if you haven't quite got it right. But look at this silly toe chopping going on here, slowing down all of this. And if you look closely, you can see that this has been going on a long time, this toe chopping. And the way that I can see that is because you can see that these are much closer, these rings here, and they're much wider down here. So what you've got is divergent rings, and that only happens when you chop that toe off religiously. Keep doing it. And the heel is still cracking along at the right pace, and this is slowed right down, which is why they bunch up. It just goes down slower, and that's why you get these diverging rings. So that's something you can read. So good job, Fiona. Let's come back to StreamYard. What have we got here? Yeah, you're welcome, my lovely. Keep going. You know, thank goodness for you. Right, must and impress upon them about talking to them about no more toe choppy. All right, good. That's Fiona done. Pia, hello. Not horsey, but a thing. I had this idea while grooming my dog. DIY pads. Yeah. Need to study deeper and get one of those felting needles. Oh my God, this is all sounding a little bit too crafty for me. And these are not the same as sheep. It's not a craft channel, guys. But for me, it's worth it to do. And lucky me with him, I never run out of material. He is 11-year Finnish lap hound called Maori. Oh my God, look at him. Oh, I love him. I love you.
Very furry.
He's like a bear. He's like almost, wow, look at him. Isn't he beautiful? Oh, Pia, he's just gorgeous. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh yeah, look. Well, go for it, girl. Make some. Yeah. DIY pads. Why not? Absolutely brilliant. I'm sure you could do something with that. We're all going to be stripping our dogs now. Okay. Caroline Williams. Is everybody all right with this, with me just belting through? Is that okay? Vivian says, maybe you could have a look at the post of Indra's. We ran out of time yesterday. Okay, let's do that. David says, Lindsay, by the time... Have you seen David's avatar? That's where David was trying to pull a shoe off and Kate was helping. It's her face. It's so funny. Lindsay, by the time you get home, you will have travelled all the way around the world, not just halfway. That was coming to Scotland. All right. I'm flipping right. Folk came here to Aberdeen, Scotland with journeys that included planes, trains, boats, hire cars, 10-hour plus travel and 4 nights in hotels, and every one of them said it was worth it. There you go, you see. So if you're in any doubt, get it sorted. Get somebody to look after your animals and come on down, because it's so important. Dawn says, I can't recommend the workshops highly enough. Kate says, it is a cow. I'm glad I'm glad I was able to recognize a cow. Melanie says, weird. It's just now got a notification. Thank goodness, don't miss the live. I think the notifications are late. Right. Okay. Let's get back into it. So we'll just quickly do this one and then we'll have a look at Indra. Looking for some trim advice. Been following guidelines since Bay with great success. That's good to hear. Ready to start the challenges. Now I believe we have an abscess. You see, weather's changing, guys. The weather's changing, and those damn bars. And if there's any separation, love this group. You saved my horse after 4 years of professional care. Could someone? Oh, hang on a minute. My lamp just fell over again. Hold on. I kicked it with my toe. Could someone post the link to the challenges, and could a pro give me some trim advice on this abscessed foot? All right, we certainly can. First of all,
ready.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, that's great. Do you see that?
That's in a much better angle, isn't it? Much better.
So much.
What the angle was, even though we haven't seen the previous pictures. Well, not tonight anyway. You can see where how upright it was in the past,
which is this angle.
It's starting to relax. Yes. Like we always say, these hooves and the way that we rehab them is so predictable, and they don't look pretty, do they? But this is healing. Healing doesn't always look pretty.
And
you've already said that you've noticed a difference in your horse and comfort and all of those things. You can't deny that. Okay, I'll grant you that the feet don't look pretty, but if your horse is feeling better,
they do to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because this angle here, right, that's going out, that's kicking out like that, that used to be up here. And in order for that angle to be there, those heels would have to have been really high.
Yeah.
And then we had one change to here, and then we've changed again, and then we've changed again. So she's doing really well. The heels are coming down. Really fantastic. This white gloopy stuff that you see here, don't be alarmed. That's just periopal. It's just this waxy layer. It's the stratum, very stratum externum, which is a waxy layer that protects the horn to hair line. And it's like your cuticle. And it just goes like this when it's wet. Very white. So do not worry about that. Okay. Elaine says, I can see plenty of bar material that needs trimming and there's cracks starting. All right. Good. Now, why do we get abscesses? So when you start trimming correctly, this is what you will see. You will see the outline of the true sole. Look at that. It's beautiful. We got it there. We know that this hoof wall has got to suck itself in by, better, healthier diet and management, but certainly by better trimming. Now, this stretch here, because this was a mechanical cause here, this stretch here was not because she had a long toe that's causing this stretch. No. When you go through a whole process with these animals, then you're very clear at what's going on. The problem is the world doesn't do this. Let's just say a farrier turned up, Gary, to this horse's foot, and the owner was having issues with a bit of lameness. Immediately, they would put that problem down to that toe.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the toe, because we go back in time a little bit, and that didn't even look like it was there. The stretch didn't even look like it was there. It was, but the heels were way, way, way too long. And then when we changed that angle by allowing those heels to go back to the more normal shape for this horse, then the stretch that was caused by the heels, this amount of stretch was caused by how high those heels were, then begins to reveal itself and it starts to grow out. That's not the reason for the abscess, because in fact, actually with this, you can see that there aren't really any holes, which is very good. And you see it's tightening up here, and it will just get tighter and tighter. This is the sort of foot we want to see in rehab, but there's a bit of an issue still. You'll find you found the hard sole plane, but we've got a problem with the bars. Okay. So the true bar comes down and ends around about here. You can see these little cracks. They're a bit long, these bars, but that's effectively growing up from the laminae, the bar laminae, and that's where they are. You always see them. You nearly always can see a little crack, a little fissure. It looks like a fractured bar, but it isn't. It's just that it's fractured down here because that's the end of the bar, but it's still too long. It's wall, remember, it's growing up and folding over. As soon as this begins to get pressure from the ground, you can see how this has turned a bit yellowy, and this has turned a bit yellowy here. Because as this grows up as hoof wall, it gets pressure just like this area here, and starts to fold over. That's not grand. It's not good. That's why these bars need to be kept in check and kept down to the hard sole plane. And the heels if they're down to the heart soul plane, don't allow for this bar to do this. So it's important that that's understood. Otherwise, you have this part of the heel, which is what the horse is meant to be walking on, but it isn't walking just on that. It's walking on that. It's walking on this bit. It's walking on that bit, and that's not pleasant. It's not great. They need to dive into the sole of the foot in that bowl, just like everything else. So that's number one. The second part of this is, what about the stuff that's in front of that little fracture line? What about the stuff that's going on there? Well, this is accreted bar material that's mixing with sole underneath here, and it's getting itself just a big lump of unnecessary material that also goes under pressure. When the horse is walking around, that too is getting pinpoint pressure. It's not pleasant. They don't like it. It'd be like you walking around with lumps in your foot. They don't want that there, and it's an unnecessary thing. And I tell you something, guys, this goes on all the darn time. People just ignore it, and it's not a good thing, because underneath all of this here, this is you can just see with these little black areas, traps, dirt, and in dirt there are little microbes, and they love to munch away and have a party in here because it's brilliant, because it's all enclosed, it's covered up, and then they start to cause little infections, and that infection can go this way, this way, this way, and that's where your abscesses begin. And then eventually what you hope is that it's going to very quickly make its way back here as quickly as it can, and then it will burst just here at that hairline, here or here, unless you've got big holes in the foot, and then you might get leakage, which we don't want. We want it to burst at the back and clear itself, and then you need to keep on top of these bars. So other than that, and then you can see there's a little bit of exfoliation. Now this crazy paving is there because it's the solar plates, effectively. This has been this is and still is a bit of a callus there, because this horse hasn't still not got its toe pillar in play. Okay, but that's great. I'm loving that. And now you get to see this doing a really good job, actually. But this not long. This is going to be down soon, and then this will gradually reduce. The more this comes in play, this will reduce. Be very careful with your balance, Caroline, because I suspect that these are above this hard sole plane here. So be careful with your balance. This needs to be thought about. And I think if you come on the challenges, that's going to help you. And again, can you see now? We shouldn't see this bar here. This should, and here on this side, and all this lump. Do you see it above the hard sole plane on this view? Horse is walking around on that, not pleasant, folding over, trapping crap underneath, and becoming a problem. Little tweak. Oh, Vivian says, oh yeah, look at that, it's beautiful. Look at this. There you go. This is Vivian. Thank you, Vivian. They're excessive bars. They will put pressure right up into the inner hoof structures. Bars should never be weight bearing. Beautiful. Right from the beginning on the last seat of corn, up here. Most abscesses are cut. Why can't you become an equine vet now? Can you just do small animals as well as equine? I mean, Vivian, sort it out now. Those sole cracks are a sign of old retained sole material around the frog and hiding the concavity. Very good. Bars are an extension of the hoof. Oh, bars are an extension of the hoof wall and trimmed as such. Trim the bars to the HSP until you clearly see their inner hoof wall and white line, and exfoliate the old sole. Not an HMB pro student, but a hoof nerdy vet. Now you just got to become an equine vet. Sort it out. Don't dig for abscesses. Look at that. It's beautiful. That's what we're after, people. That's what we're after. Bring it on. Okay, cool. You see the difference? You see the difference? Look. Go in there and do that out. Let's sort that out. Okay, if there are any admins that are watching this, or indeed anyone that wouldn't mind contributing to help the admins, can somebody put a link in their posts of the people, not Piers because she's watching, of the people, and Francis is watching, Fiona, sorry. So of the ones that might not be watching, and I don't know whether Caroline is. All right, now we're going to go down to, God, I'm talking like a Gatling gun. Vicky's like, I'm late, I've just woken up. Sorry, we went early. I did think of you. I did think of you, Vicky. Good morning from Australia. Pia Vetty Viv. Where does the
it was in that we look at next.
Okay, where does the excess accreted bar material originate from? From the bar. It's overgrown. So as the bar just grows, the hoof wall and everything grows in a forward direction with the sole material, and it just keeps on going because it's not addressed. So it's excess. It's just excess material and sole also that is not being addressed. That's where it comes from. Good question. Okay, right, Indra. I'm going to see if I can go to members. Indra. Is it Indra? How do I spell it?
Indra.
There we go. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Is this the one?
I think so. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's the one.
It's a long old ramble. I'm sorry, it's not a ramble. It's a long old post. It's not a ramble. I didn't mean to say it. That sounded rude. I don't mean that. I'm going to be a long old ramble. Let's whiz through it. Hello, everyone. This group was recommended to me after asking for advice from another group. So thank you for accepting me. Huh? Well, I have to tell you that most groups are automatically banning when you mention the Phoenix Way now. They won't allow. Isn't that just so crap? We're just helping so many horses, and they don't want people coming here because it's a little bit of jealousy. So it gets on my nerves. This seems like a really nice place to learn. It is. I absolutely have no trimming experience. Would prefer not to have the responsibility. I know, but you need to know about it. I'm from Belgium. Excuse my English. And I have the same barefoot trimmer for 3 years now, but he feels like we've tried everything. And this is it. So I have come here for advice. Thank you already for reading, looking, and sharing your experience. All help is welcome. This is my absolute golden boy, my 11-year-old, only 11 people, OTTB, off the track thoroughbred. I love him with every cell in my body. I love your English. We've come a long way with him being malnourished and diagnosed with kissing spine. He has been rehabilitated and is doing really good now. So the good news is feeling and doing good looking and using his body correctly, that kind of stuff. However, the bad news, he still looks a little bit weak and underdeveloped, and the worst are his hooves. I tried taking the pictures according to the guidelines. Okay, good, well done. Please let me know your thoughts. Why are they like this? We're going to answer all those whys. And what can be done about it? We have 10 minutes to answer you and get this done. We have tried raising the heels. No. That's answered one of the whys. Even with the wraps and hoof boots without success, I'm not surprised. No. He is very sensitive and rough terrain. He will be. And now recently he's got the big split in his front foot. When I bought him, his hooves were completely grown crooked and he moved almost sideways. That's been fixed, but his front feet are still a disaster in my humble opinion. He gets trimmed now every 4 weeks. Is this a nutrition issue? I think it's probably good. I haven't had a proper good look, but I'm reckoning it's going to probably be 2 things. Because as my barefoot trimmer said, if I wouldn't know better, I would think, based on these hooves, that he is neglected. At this point, I feel that his hooves are missing the puzzle piece because I hope that they would be. I'd love to know. It's wrong of me. So wrong of me. But I'd love to know the answers that she got in the other group, other groups. He would even use his body more correctly and get more even and correct muscle build. Okay, update. His blood is tested. No shortages. He is tested for Lyme and Cushing, both negative. Now, what is this telling you? What is it telling you? Telling you a story. It's a story. So this is then another one of the whys. Okay. He is out 24/7 on a grass paddock. What's that telling you? That's another why. With a shelter and his best friend. This is lovely. Good, good, good. The shelter floor is covered with rubber mats. It's not that necessary. But I know you people love your horses so much that you like to get them rubber to stand on. It's not that necessary. So no hard underground for him. Bless. They go, he kind of does need some hard underground, really. They go to good amount of hay, according to the vet. Can we just that and just give them as much hay as they can eat? And split into a no, we're not doing that. We're not splitting into morning and evening. But I'm looking at slow feeders so it takes longer during the day. They need to eat constantly. If horses don't eat when they want to eat, you are going to affect their gut. I cannot say that enough. The challenges, my lovely, are where you want to start. You need to get onto those challenges, and we'll teach you all about that. We'll teach you all about diet and management, why there are problems, and then we're going to talk to you about the trim, which you need to know. His teeth are checked, all good, no worms. He gets hot. Oh my God. Right. So we're splitting his. So we're trying to split his hay up. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. But then on top of that, you're giving him extras, balances, supplements, muscle build, MSM, glucosamine, oils. We only do recreational work, at least 2 groundwork sessions a week, a big hike and a riding lesson, jumping and basic dressage. I'm also talking to a nutritionist to see if we can change something. No. Look at all this. Remove it and just feed that, but find out what's in that. Any more information you need? What are your thoughts? Thanks. Well, I've said a lot of stuff. Thank you so much in advance. La. This girl is desperate. Right. Now, if you listen and you believe what we're saying, because all we're doing here is following the natural horse's feet, and just listen to many thousands of people that are in this group, you need to sort the diet out and probably the trim. But let's get in. Oh, hello. Okay. Hello, my darling. Oh, doesn't he look like Chance?
He does. Very similar.
She. Was it he?
Can't remember.
So, first and foremost, do you see how weak he kind of looks here? That's so chancy, isn't it? And he generally doesn't look too great. It doesn't look horrendous, and it depends on your angle, because on this angle, look, he looks a little bit better than that angle. I wouldn't say he's carrying a considerable amount of weight. I think weight-wise, don't look too bad at all, to be fair. But this little bit in here, the guts are distressed. They've got problems. Okay, so that's not always a bad sign, really. When I say it's not always a bad sign, in terms of weight, you see he's got definition in his muscles, but he's a thoroughbred, right? So this often looks the way that it looks, but we don't know what's going on in here. We don't know. If he's not lame, then maybe this is okay. But if he's already been on the track, if you're watching you ever follow Bex Nairn, she tells you about all the problems that go on in her pet subject, which is the sacroiliac joint. So I can't tell you anything much about that, but I can tell you a lot about the feet. So the feet are showing you that there is quite a bit of dietary distress. I don't know why you're hoof care professional is telling you that these feet look like a horse that's a welfare case, because that's a bit unfair. I don't think they are. I mean, they don't look brilliant, but they're not. I've seen far blooming worse. All right, so you've got scar tissue coming down here where we've had splits. You've got splits, and this is just breaking out here. It's not full thickness. These are very common. You got that slight bell bottom shape of flaring. You've got cracks going up the side. This is so reminiscent of an animal whose guts have just been torn apart by the crap that they've been fed in the past and the hoof care that they've had. And I can tell you now that these may never completely disappear. But because they're not full thickness, I don't know about this one over here, your horse probably doesn't even know that they're there. Right? They just look ugly. So this is more to do with nutrition than it is to do with anything else. I think everybody can see the bar situation going on there now. We've had this discussion. So you need to make sure that the bars are dealt with. Big chunk out there. That is, I think, this bit here, isn't it? So it is full thickness. So what do I mean by full thickness? It goes straight through into the white line. Likely he's had that a long time. All right. Looks pretty well balanced as far as I can see. Are we removing toe wall? I don't know.
Also, with that side crack, just I'm pretty sure it won't be happening, but don't let anybody gouge that out either.
No, don't. You can see it a bit more there. It looks like there's toe wall, but can you see how it's white here because we're removing more material than we need to? I think we're backing that up far too much. And one of the reasons people do that is because they're worried about the cracks. And as you found out, doesn't nail them, does it? Doesn't stop. It doesn't stop them. So just tweak to the trim is the bars and the heels. Make sure they're down to the HSB and do not back up the toe. Leave it alone. And then your job, my lovely, is to sort out the diet. This is a common shaping of a hindfoot. Again, this is it's delaminating effectively. Ooh.
Look at the bars on those. So those bars on those hind feet, well, much worse than the front feet. Can you see how they're folded over? Those should be much shorter than that. And those heels will be quite high as well for that amount of bar folded over. So you've got on the hind end, you've got your horse actually tipping forward way more, which will actually affect what's going on further up.
And that's sacroiliac joint, all of that.
Iliac is going to have a major impact on that. This is about balance again, because you're not down to the hard sole plane. Therefore, the pubes bone is actually tipped forward. And those bars are potentially going to cause you a problem because there is a lot of space underneath there that the microbes can go in there and have a party. Abscess central, that would be. It
is abscess central. You can see where it's grabbing crap and underneath. And also you've shortened the surface area too. Vital that you don't do that. Okay. Let's have a look at the... Oh, we got the same problem going? Yeah, same issue.
Yeah.
If your hoof care pro is picking up these feet and going, oh, there's not a lot to do, then that's not true, right? Do you see all of this? Do you see in here? You see all this? This is retained old bar material that's stuck in there.
Yeah.
And you got walls above the hard sole plane. Yeah, the hind feet are worse than the fronts in terms of the trim.
Yeah.
But the diet is your big thing here. Okay, so let's do that. Stop sharing. Right, folks. I'll leave it. Did I sink? I think I sink as I'm doing this. I go further and further down. You can tell when I'm concentrating.
You get into a comfortable position, don't you?
I just sink in my chair. All right. Okay. So the trim needs tweaking. That's a for sure, a for definite. And the other thing is that you got to sort that diet out. You got to stop micromanaging. Stop giving them all the supplements, all the balances, all the extra feeds, all of that gone. 6 months minimum gone. And the paranoia, of course, is he's a thoroughbred. Coming into winter, he may lose a load of weight, is what you're thinking. But I'm telling you, all that other crap is just causing him stress in his guts. And he's likely that he's had ulcers if he doesn't have them at the moment. And it could be anywhere in his gut. That's got to go. The hay, you do not restrict at all. He needs to have hay 24/7, 365, and he never runs out. And that's for the other horse too. Never. But make sure your hay is not rye. It's important. There's a post actually, Gary, on the Phoenix group that just says, I can't remember who it was, but said, I was doing everything and I couldn't understand.
Yeah, I was doing everything. I've been following the Phoenix way. Why wasn't it working? Why wasn't it this? Why wasn't it that? And she said, I found out that there was rye in my hay. I changed it. 6 weeks later, my horse is sound. It was the last bit of the puzzle. The last bit of the puzzle.
Trust us when we tell you. It's a pain in the ass.
It is.
You really got to work so hard to get rid of it. So hay, no rye, and mix it as best you can.
Lots of encouraged movement.
No confining.
And if
is Asha telling me, give me a time check?
Yeah, if you want to learn more, and you won't regret it, either try and come and see us on, depending on where you are.
Belgium.
So that's not
challenges.
Challenges. Your best. Challenges would be your best bet for sure.
You mentioned, didn't you, in there, you do anything for this girl. That's what you need to do. You now need to learn about the diet and management, and you now need to learn and get on and fix it, just like hundreds and hundreds of other people already have.
Yeah.
Right, my lovelies. We're going to have to dash because we're already 4 minutes late for our other call. So we got to go. Should a very large frog bar be trimmed? Yeah, they should all be trimmed. Get rid of them.
Down to the hard sole plane. You don't have to carve them into the sole. You just down to the hard sole plane. That's it.
Pier's gone off. Simple. Okay, Erin says that's me. Rye was the elusive. It was you, Erin.
That's right. There you go. Yes, Erin. Yes, it was.
Go read Erin's post. Right, that's it. We're done. Thank you for joining us. It's been great. It's great. We've had quite a lot of people joining us, even though we were an hour earlier than our usual slot. We will see you on Monday. Definitely see you Monday. In fact, we might see you quite a bit of next week, I think, because we've got calls all week, but I don't think we've got them very late. So we'll see you Monday. It's a date.
Take care. Have a good weekend.
Tidy bye. Have a lovely weekend.
See ya.
See ya.